Good evening and welcome back. Tonight's video topic is going to be about the economy. Okay, and I'm also going to touch on this interesting thing that happened to me today, with people who tried to use their military service or pretend to use military service as a way of getting sympathy from you to do something for them. Okay, so there you go. So we all know that the economy's in the tank. It's been in the tank for the last 3 years, right? Unemployment's high. People are either losing their jobs or there are people that just refuse to go to work. All right. Food prices are high, gas prices are high, utility bills are high, car insurance is high. Anything and everything that you use on a daily or monthly basis is high right now. And people's paychecks aren't going anywhere. A lot of companies are cutting back on hours, especially if you're like in the retail business, such as my wife and one of my daughters. Okay. Or, I'm in the grocery business. I'm a truck driver. I work for a large grocer down here. I work in a yard. I'm what they call a yard man. I move trailers around all day long. That's all I do. Put trailers in and out of doors all day long. Okay. 8 hours a day. That's all I do. And, with everything going up in price, you're feeling it every single week. Like if I'm only working 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week, my paycheck ain't that big. Okay, it's it's a little over $800, clear. People think that's a lot of money. That's not a lot of money today. I can remember just a year ago. Okay, at this job, I was working overtime all the time. Okay, always making extra money, so I didn't really notice it that much. And then when the overtime kind of like got cut back, that's when you start noticing that, things are pretty damn expensive. I mean, right now, a buddy of mine at work recently got hurt, broke his ankles, can be out of work for 4 months. So it's pretty much 4 months of overtime I can get because I'll be covering one of his shifts every single week. So I'll be working 6 days a week. So that's great. So, but a lot of people out there aren't that fortunate. People can't get overtime. People are having their hours slashed, and they're struggling to make ends meet. But you also have people out there trying to take advantage of you. Okay, trying to get sympathy from you. Okay, trying to see if there's a soft side of you, a given side of you. And if they detect that, they're going to use that to their advantage. Okay. If you do a search on YouTube, you'll see plenty of videos out there where people are out there pretending to be homeless and looking for handouts. Okay. There's plenty of videos out there. There's videos out there where people are clearly caught red-handed. Okay. Trying to play the sympathy card. I'm homeless. I need money. Okay. So today I go to Walmart. Now, basically going to Walmart to buy taxable items to clean your house with, because we ran out of our cleaning products. And of course, taxable items they're expensive. So I go in there. I get the items that I need. Plus, I bought like a gallon of milk, a 12-pack of soda, and a couple of bottles of creamer for coffee. Everything else is cleaning products. Cost me $75. So as I'm walking down the first aisle, this gentleman stops me and he says something. I can't remember the exact words how we got to talking, but he said, "Hey, oh yeah," he goes, hey, buddy," he says, "you mind helping out a disabled vet?" He goes, you know, pay for pay for my few items in my carriage over here. I looked at him, and he's got, you know, like two or three brown bags. When you go to the deli and you're buying like chicken wings or popcorn shrimp or whatever, they put them in them those little brown bags. He had that. He had about maybe four or five other items, and the man, he said he's 60 years old. He's a disabled vet, and he says he said they used to call us jarheads. So in other words, he's saying he's a Marine. I told him, I said, I know what a jarhead is, you know. And if anybody out there, there's plenty out there who served in the United States Marine Corps or in the military. My brother served 20 something years in the Air Force. My grandfather was in the Navy during World War II. My uncle's a Vietnam vet, he spent over 20 years in the Army as well. And I know quite a few people who also served in the Marine Corps. As a matter of fact, our new transportation manager at my job, she's a 17-year retired Marine vet. But anybody knows that if you're in the Marine Corps, there's that old saying, once a Marine, you're always a Marine. Period. Okay? So the guy's telling me, he's disabled. I think he said he fell 12,000 feet or something. Must have been parachuting or something, and broke his leg, broke his femur, his tibia, or whatever. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he looking down at his leg, and he was just he said, "Oh no, that never happened." He was rambling on about something. You can tell he was nervous. I mean, he's 60 years old. Now this dude for 60 years old looks a hell of a lot better than me. He looks 20 years younger than me, considering I'm 59 and a half years old right now. Okay? The guy was fit. He wasn't muscular or nothing, but he was slim, clean shaven, bald head. The clothes that he wore were impeccable. He had a nice, like a two-tone brown and light brown shirt, matching shorts, and a pair of matching shoes. Okay? And I looked at him, I said, if you're broke, I said, what are you doing in here shopping at Walmart? Trying to get people to pay for your food? Is that what you're doing? And he's rambling on. He says, he says, I'm going to truck driving school out in California. He said, the Marines are paying for it. I said, really? I said, what school are you going to? I said, I've been a truck driver for the past 20 years. He goes, New England. I said, if you're talking like, say, New England tractor trailer training, I said, they're out of Connecticut. I said, that's where I got my license from. Okay? There is no New England tractor trailer training or whatever in the state of California. And, I did talk to a buddy of mine. He says, no. He served 20 years, over 20 years in the U.S. Army. He said his son's going to truck driving school right now. He says he's gone for so many hours a day, and then he comes home. If they're going to pay for your training, you got schools available in the state that in which you live in. That's where you're going to be trained at. Okay? Now, if you're going to go drive for, like, say, Schneider, Swift, Stevens Transport, Rail, Covenant Transport, J.B. Hunt, a lot of those places over there, they're gonna send you out. Depending on where you live, they're gonna fly you, or they're gonna bus you out to the city and state and where their training school is. Okay, and I think a couple of them, even Warner, I think they have trucking school right here in Texas. Okay, and yeah, he was saying that his flight got canceled. He said the Marines aren't going to pay for him to get food or whatever. And a buddy of mine also told me that's a bunch of crap too. And I'm saying to myself, if your flight got canceled, I'm like, what are you? How did you get from Dallas, whether it's DFW or Dallas Love Field? How did you get yourself all the way over here to Walmart in North Richland Hills? That's what I asked the guy. He didn't have nothing to say. Okay? In the end, I just turned around and said sorry. I said, I'm not falling for this BS. And I walked away. And I told somebody over there when I was up at the register, I told the manager about this. And then when she asked me what he looked like, and I told her, and where about where he would be. I happened to call my wife after that, and I asked her. She goes, "Oh yeah, we get people like that all the time." Because my wife and my daughter work at Walmart. They're both managers. Now here's the sad thing about it. I am the type of guy, I do not want to see anybody go hungry. That's just me. I'm not going to pay for your drugs. I'm not going to pay for your liquor. If you are hungry, I'm not going to give you money. I mean, I have given people a few dollars here and there in the past. I'm not going to give you large sums of money. If you're really hungry, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy you something to eat. As a matter of fact, well over 20 years ago, I was working for this factory up in West Springfield, Massachusetts, and we had a guy. His name was George. I don't remember his last name. And the story I heard about this guy was, his parents owned some kind of a big business. And this guy had a severe drinking problem. And his siblings basically forced him out of the company when they took it over, okay, because he was an alcoholic. He definitely had a drinking problem. Whenever he was at work, sometimes he'd sit there and look like he was in a daze. So we all knew, he was a drinker of some sort. One day I ain't seen George for a little while. Didn't know where he was. Well, obviously he lost his job, is what I found out. And there were a couple occasions, the wife and I and my kids were in our car. We're going to the mall or shopping or whatever, and there's a strip mall. And at that strip mall at the beginning there was a McDonald's. I happened to see George out there, standing there with a sign, homeless, hungry. I'm saying to myself, wow, that's what happened to George. We were going to McDonald's anyways. I stopped, I bought him food, and I gave it to him. I think I did this on 2 or 3 occasions, and then after that I didn't see him. Okay? I mean, I'll do that for you. Okay? But here you are. You're well kept. Your clothing is outstanding. And yet you're going to try to feed me this BS story that you're a disabled vet and you need help paying for your groceries. There are too many people out there, in my opinion, that are trying to use the vet line as a way of getting people to do something for them. I'm not going to sit there and say this guy maybe was not in the Marine Corps or in the military, but nothing that he said, made sense. Okay? So I think he's, trying to play off your emotions, because we all support our vets and our first responders. Okay? So I think this guy's using that as a way to have somebody pay for his groceries. I wish I would have stuck around to see what kind of vehicle this guy got into. Now, if I didn't buy milk and soda and creamer and all I got was my cleaning products, yeah, I had plenty of times on my hands. I might have sat in the parking lot to see what the outcome was, whether the cops showed up and escorted them out, or see if somebody was actually dumb enough to fall for this guy's his scam, as I'm going to call it, pay for his groceries, and see what kind of vehicle the guy hops in and leaves. I got this feeling that the way he was dressed, he's probably driving a real nice car as well. Okay? Like I said, I still can't get over the fact, said to him, your flight got canceled. So how did you get from the airport or airports and get yourself all the way over here? Doesn't make a lick of sense, because North Richland Hills to Dallas Love Field, you're probably looking at about 20 miles or so. So I just, like I said, I politely turned around and said to the guy, sorry, I'm not falling for this BS, and I did. But there you go, folks. I mean, the economy sucks. People are having it tough. But man, if you're going to use, I'm a retired first responder, or I'm a retired disabled vet as a way to try to scam somebody, you know, to me, you're lower than the dirt, okay, that's underneath my shoes that I walk on every day. I'm sorry, but hey, that's all I got to say. Good night and enjoy yourself, or enjoy your weekend, I should say.